Hi, welcome to Similar But Different, the podcast. Let's do that again. Okay. But I'm getting all the benefits.
Without having to pay.
Right.
Yeah, they screwed me. And then I found a bunch of friends that I was different from. I think I'd like the gram more if I got hit up in my DMs.
Okay, this should probably end. Hi, welcome to Similar But Different. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jen.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Rach.
How's it going?
It's good.
I haven't seen you in so long.
2 weeks, right? Has it been
Is
full
that
2?
it? For some reason, I'm like, it's
No,
been
that's a long
3
time for
weeks.
us. We see each other at least once a week at a minimum.
Yeah.
And it does feel like it. Maybe it's been 3
And
weeks.
just so much has happened.
A lot has happened.
Yeah. You've
Life.
gone camping.
Camping, birthday.
Yes.
Don't forget birthday.
Yeah.
Life.
Welcome to 36.
Fuck.
Yeah.
When you say it like that, it hurts.
No, it's a good club to be in.
Yeah.
Recently, I've been forgetting that I'm 36 and thinking I'm 37. So then it's nice to remember that I'm 36.
I feel like that's normal because, like, that happens, especially having an early birthday in the year, because then you already start to feel like you're 36 later. Because, like, this year, I felt like I was telling myself even before May I was 36.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, bitch, I'm 35. Let's go.
Right.
It's a good feeling. Good feeling.
But
But yeah, you did a lot too.
yeah, I went to Boston
Performed.
for work. Performed.
Crushed it.
And, well, it was fine.
I
think it was well received by the audience.
Good.
But I think I texted you this. It wasn't up to my level of performance standard.
I understand that.
Yeah, and I was very nervous. And I told my mom that. She goes, "You don't get nervous for stuff like that." And I'm like, Mom, I'm not a fearless high schooler anymore. I do. And it was like 80% people I don't know. Mm-hmm. And I was doing it by myself.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the like singing and the playing, like I didn't feel, the only thing I felt confident about was the writing of my parody.
Put your mic down. Which was awesome. The foam on your mic.
Oh. And what I did not feel confidence about is my ability to sing and play, because those are not my strengths, you know?
I mean, I don't know. Didn't somebody say in the Taylor Swift bracket that, like, you basically look like Taylor Swift a little bit, and you channeled Taylor Swift by playing an instrument and singing at the same time?
It is the highest of compliments I've ever received, and I think it's just because I have curly hair and bangs, and so does Taylor Swift, but I'll take what I can get.
I would take it, and also technically, like, you pulled off a Taylor Swift. You wrote the lyrics, you played the instrument, and you sang the song.
That's true. I am Taylor Swift.
Basically. I don't know the difference anymore.
Yeah, and her birthday's on the 13th. Mine's on the 23rd. There's
Same thing.
3 in there. Hers is in December. Mine's January. We're just like one off from each other is
Slightly.
what I'm saying.
It's the little things there. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, seriously. That's epic.
Yeah.
I had to call that out because when you told me that, I was like, yeah, no, that's something I would want the world to know.
I think, and maybe we discussed this. So at the end, they made all the people participating in the talent show get on stage, and they handed us these generic awards that all said the same thing. And I just want to say, maybe this goes back to competitiveness, but like I knew there wasn't going to be like awards for this. And I did it because I wanted to have fun and make a name for myself. But if you're
cool.
gonna give awards, like, you gotta make it mean something. Otherwise, I don't care.
Yeah, why?
And then I just feel kind of stupid standing up there.
Did they have any winner?
No, we all just got essentially a participation trophy that the one of my coworkers asked if he could see it, and he's like, "Oh, it's in the Live Laugh Love font."
Oh,
like it's
God.
like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, may
that's a
you
shame.
follow your dreams and be a champion.
Bleh. No
Yeah.
one likes participation
Now, I
trophies.
would have rather received nothing. Actually, well, what I'm going to say is yes, I would have rather received nothing, but I would have rather it had been a competition and not won anything.
Yep.
Than to have received what I received.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed that it wasn't a competition because I don't know. I didn't see the other talents, but I feel like you would have crushed it more than you thought. But then again, I wasn't there, so I don't know. So I do have to take your word for it. But that's what I'm used. Like when the one we did, it was a competition, and that made it fun and exciting.
Yeah, and granted, there was like a competition within myself. Like I wanted people to be like, yeah, that was funny. And I got that. So from there I won. But it was cool because like some guy did stand-up comedy. Another girl who's like a part-time wedding singer.
Oh.
She had the most beautiful voice, and she did 2 covers that she played on guitar. One of them being Pink Pony Club.
Oh.
And we were all just like singing along
Not an
together.
easy.
No, not an easy song.
Wow.
It was beautiful.
She killed it.
Yeah, she.
So we think she's
crushed
the
it.
winner.
Well, it depends on what your defining parameters of success are.
I've just given her the award, so
bravery,
she wins it.
comedy, beauty, me.
You're right. You deserve that.
Yeah, the BCB, if you will.
I was like, wait, oh, BBC. And then,
I essentially, some people are like, oh, I didn't know you played an instrument. And I'm like, I need to clarify that I don't. I can play an instrument, but I do not play an instrument. And it's very different. And how I define this is people who can just jam, you can play an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot do that. I can play the chords I know, and you can jam with me.
As long as you can fit into these chords I know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, no. I can learn the chords to the song that I am playing, but I'm not just like, you know, like I
like that distinction.
Yeah.
Can play versus plays.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good. It's like the I was not a theater person. I was someone who did theater.
Oh.
And I feel like that is a very important distinction.
Okay.
Because a theater person is like the stereotype of like, I don't know, they're kind of weird and like really into the drama, like really into theater. You know the type of person I'm talking about?
I think I know what you're talking about, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then this sounds so shitty, but then if you're a person that does theater, you're like, no, I'm chill. I just like performing on stage because it's fun.
Oh, I know people like that.
Yeah.
I guess that's you. Yeah. It's funny that you...
But then there's like the dramatics.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Who would like carry a skull in their backpack because they think they're
God.
Hamlet. You know, like that kind of thing. Or like wear a cape to school.
Yeah, that's aggressive. You compared it to theater, and I was about to compare it to basketball. Like there's people that can play, which means they like played in high school.
Yeah.
And then there's people that play.
Yes.
And they're ballers.
Yeah.
Don't put me with the people that can play.
I can play or I play.
I play ball.
Yeah. Jen just got so intense. I
Yeah.
don't know if people could pick that up in your voice, but visually, like, she made so much direct eye contact with me that I was like, right, I don't play. I don't play.
I was just trying to figure out a comparison that I help, you know, just bringing it to sports somehow, always.
I mean, it can go back to anything.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I like that.
Okay. So, well, how was your birthday?
Oh my God, the birthday was awesome. I got a new pair of sneaks, not the ones I'm wearing.
Yeah. Why didn't you wear the new ones?
Because they're just really nice.
Yeah.
They're really nice. For sneakerheads, Nathan, I tried to get these when they were released, but I never win the lottery to get the shoes. But Nathan bought me the Travis Scott Jordan 1s Canary. So it's the women's ones. They're yellow and blue. And it's perfect for summer.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to have those. And then I also got a 3,000 piece puzzle from my mother-in-law.
Nice.
Big fan about the puzzle. Can't wait to take up the entire dining room table to do that.
What is the picture?
It's it's the Beatles, but like
as in the singer
cartoon,
or the insect?
The singers, I should say.
Yes.
It's the Beatles, but it's like pictures and like cartoon drawings of like all of their songs within a picture form. So like there's a Yellow Submarine, there's like
Sure, okay, that sounds fun.
Yeah, and it's definitely got a lot of things in there that like you could sit and look at this for a while and pull out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that song.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be like a thing of Abbey Road on there. I haven't seen that. So I'm excited to put that together. And then my parents got me a gift card to play some golf.
Ooh.
So looking forward to playing golf this summer.
Yeah. So what does that mean, a gift card for golf? like at a specific place?
Yeah, it's at Tank, which is where my parents are.
Pink Tank?
Yeah, she's like, this
Pink
is
Tank?
kind of a gift for me because you have to come visit me to go.
Yeah. Well, that's nice. That's a very mom gift.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Tank.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad.
So yeah, it was a nice birthday. We had pizza, first pizza in the dome.
What?
Yeah.
I've had pizza in your dome.
Yeah, for the summer, sorry.
Oh, okay.
This year. Is that the first pizza in the dome
Right.
this year? I should caveat that.
Pizza Dome 2025.
Yes. And turned out delicious. And I took off Friday and did nothing.
Yeah, I love that you did that. I think we don't plan for it ahead of time, but I have said to Skylar, I'm like, we should plan to always take our birthdays off.
Yeah,
And
you
just
told me
like-
that. That's why I did it.
Oh,
It's
you're
from
welcome.
you.
Thank you for doing that.
I got it from you.
And I also want to do it on half birthdays because
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that. I like that
it's
idea.
even if it's just like, and it's like on a Tuesday or something, you either like do something for yourself that day or you and your partner, like, let's do something. Or I think I've also referenced, let a friend know and be like, hey, do you want to take off? Like if
I
you
like
had
that.
said, do you want to take off my birthday with me? I would have said, well,
What are we doing?
probably not because I was in Boston, but
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I would have loved that next year.
I like the sound of that. It's one of those things too. This worked out well because it was on a Friday.
Yeah.
And so I just got the nice long weekend. And I was going to tell Nathan to take off with me, but I don't know. I didn't have anything planned or I didn't
Yeah.
really want to do anything. I just wanted
Lunch.
to like do whatever. Yeah, but we could do that without him taking off.
That's true. But I love a long
I've
I've decided as I've aged, maybe I've
Oh.
already discussed this, but like I love lunch. Now as my hot take. Breakfast food is my favorite food, but like eating time, I love lunch.
What?
Like because I don't want to go out to eat dinner because I'd rather be like, oh, at home and then like get in my cozies and watch a movie and
Ooh, I
like,
like
do,
that.
take
Mhm,
out or like even if Skylar he does this thing that's really cute, like on Sundays he likes to like, I don't know, have a nice Sunday dinner and like like eat at the table
Fan
and
of
like
that.
doing that, but I don't want to go out to do that because it's Sunday, you know, before like already at home and then we can like just like
Yeah.
clean up the dishes. And I like to be home on Sunday evenings. But lunch,
You can go
it's
out.
like an exciting middle of the day activity. And because I really like going out to eat.
Yeah. Which helps.
Yeah.
I get that.
I guess I don't have more to say. And I just expect everyone to
Hot
be
take.
like, yeah, lunch.
Love lunch. I get what you mean by it. Like going out. If you're going to go out somewhere, I'm 100% on board with the lunch.
Yeah.
Lunch, brunch, anything that's middle
Yeah,
of the day.
no, like lunch at home actually is the worst
Oh.
option, I think. Because it's just boring.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to like make myself a lunch.
I will.
Yeah, I won't. Because I don't wait. I like start to eat lunch when I start to feel hungry. And then once I'm hungry, it's kind of the way my body is when I'm tired. I just need to go to bed. I can't be. That's why I wash my face. Like, if I don't have anything to do after work, I close my computer
Get
and then
ready
I
for bed.
do my nighttime routine. Because I'm like,
Any minute.
If I
Any minute I could jump in bed.
yeah. And so then it's just like, all I have to do is brush my teeth. And then sometimes you're too tired.
Just too tired.
But at least my face is clean.
You know, it's funny you say that because, like, I told you, I was like, ooh, I didn't wash my hair last night.
Yeah.
Because it would have taken too long.
Yeah.
And I was tired.
Yes.
So all I did was
And then it's like
shower.
wet and
Yeah.
going to bed with it wet. And we don't
Can't
like
do that.
No.
It's just more work to get ready to do that
Yeah.
for bed. So all I did was shower and then got in bed with my dirty head.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where if I had just done it right after work,
Yeah.
wouldn't have had to worry about it.
Yeah. You know, when I there
She's
have been
onto
like I'll
something.
have a sweaty day and I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna shower before I go to bed. You know?
Oh yeah. Mhm.
But I won't wash my hair. And I just think of all the things that would be nice to like be clean,
Last.
it's probably the pillowcase. Where
Oh, shit,
all
yeah.
the grease of your hair and then your face is on there.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, yeah, I'm like showering before I get in bed at
Yeah.
night. So my sheets are probably pretty clean.
Right.
but I definitely don't always wash my hair before I get in bed. So that pillowcase,
Yeah, right.
oils from the face.
Yeah.
We need to wash that like once a week minimum.
Yeah, and I don't. We've discussed that on the pod. Vibes,
Yeah, vibes.
The
But
vibes on my
feel like
pillowcases are off.
I feel like you're deciding now that you need to update your cleaning schedule based on the new vibes. The new vibes are that it's a greasy pillowcase.
Right. I also feel like I am very blessed and that I've never like had a serious struggle with acne.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think if I did,
blessed.
that would encourage me to care more about my pillowcase.
Yeah. Man, when I was in high school or college, it was college that everything was late for me. I was a little behind the curve. My acne got so bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad. And I was a grease ball all over. Like, I thought, and maybe apparently I did the wrong thing because I talked to my hairdresser about it eventually, and she was just like, you need to not wash your hair every day.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, if it was greasy, I thought I had to wash it to get it clean. Plus, I was playing basketball, so I was taking a shower and washing every day.
I'm like, you should wash it every day.
Yep. But she was like, show me how you bathe, pretty much. Like, put stuff in your hair, and I was just like...
Were you touched inappropriately? That sounds
that's what it sounds like.
I never thought about. That probably wasn't great. She was like, okay, get naked. Show me how you shower.
Yeah, no, not like that. She just said, tell me how you wash your hair. So I would, like, take the shampoo in my hand, and then I would just, like, put it on my head and wash it. And she's like, that's problem number 1. Like,
oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to be doing?
You're supposed to lather it in your hand so you spread it out, and then, like, lather it through the roots all the way back. And I was kind of just, like, putting it on the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
And then, like, rubbing it in from there. So there was this ball of stuff that wasn't always getting rinsed out.
Okay.
And that was causing the grease. But then also my face was oily, and that was causing the acne. And then I also drank a lot of beer one year and got a little loaded.
Just once?
Yeah, like a little big for Jen. Yeah. When we look at fat Jen pics, it's like, ooh, we're a little bigger than we like ourselves to be.
Yeah, well, we also had a dining hall, so college is hard.
College is hard. You're eating food at 3 a.m. You're drinking beer all night. Yeah, that was all of that happened to me one year.
Well, I guess, no, I was going to say, and then you stopped playing sports, but you continued.
I continued. It's weird when you are working out and running as much as I was and still gaining weight.
Impressive.
Whew, I don't know if I would say impressive. I would say maybe we weren't really working out as much as we should have. D3, baby.
Yeah. Hey, you still got to play the sport that you love and also, like, have a fun college experience.
Totally.
Yeah, you got the best of both, is what I'm saying.
I went a little hard at times, but good times. Good times. I don't even know how we got there.
Me neither. So I do want to come back to, I have some updates.
Yes.
From citizens.
I love that you do this. Ooh.
Face ID. Citizens. Rachel finally got a new phone. It has Face ID. It doesn't have a button. I'm so confused. My phone was very old.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Citizen Adrian wanted me to tell you, this is around when we were talking about marrying your cousin.
Oh, shit.
It's related to that episode. So, she had a friend who had a donor dad. So, her mom was just like, I don't know who your dad is. He came from a sperm donor.
Yep.
And then it turns out she did like a 23andMe or something later.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, Adrian, if I'm misrepresenting some of this. I didn't re-watch the information you provided to me. But apparently she was conceived at a time when you could get paid for sperm donation. So this guy had like
kids
a
everywhere.
lot of children, but he was very like, yep, if I'm your dad, find me. Like,
oh, cool.
He was very accepting of all of it. So now she has like 25 half siblings that she knows, and they all got a little sperm tattoo.
That's cute.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
I thought this was going of like she
me too.
met
and
then decided she loved him.
Yeah, I thought it's like, and I found out my boyfriend is my brother.
Yeah.
So it didn't go there, but she was like, it could have, because all in that like area where they lived, there was like
that's
25
yeah
potential
See, that's a scenario though where, like I was saying, like it's not like you were raised with each other and like thought you guys were brothers and sisters all your whole life. So like I feel like that's just a like fuck. That's a shitty situation if you were to come to that, but not your fault.
Yeah.
But also love the sperm tattoo.
Yeah.
What a great idea.
I'm also like, I want to see the tattoo. I'm imagining just like a little tadpole.
Yep.
But yeah. Okay. Pooping etiquette while camping. This is from our camping episode. So Citizen Kyle told me that, you know, in general, just like use your brain.
Yeah.
You shouldn't poopy. He only referred to it as poopy the entire time he was talking to me about it.
Poopy.
Don't poopy near water because you don't want that to get in the waters and people drink out of that, and human poopy is way different than animal poopy.
It is.
If you do have a shovel, that is like
ideal.
a good thing to do, just because like people hiking, you don't want others stepping in it. He is a hunter. He's like, if I see a rock, I sometimes will just, if I got a poopy, and then put a rock on it, which I loved that idea.
Yeah. That's considerate.
But he was like, I don't bring a shovel when I'm hunting. But him and his wife did hike the Appalachian Trail and got this like tiny little, like very lightweight shovel if they needed to use it to clean up after themselves. They have also hiked the Grand Canyon, and with that's a like whatever you bring in, you're bringing out. So people have to like pack their poopies
in a bag
with them and bring it out of the canyon.
Whoa.
Yeah. Which does make sense, because it's just like, yeah, especially in like that type of environment. Mm-hmm. Like you can't just have poopies everywhere.
Yeah. No, which is I'm glad that they do that, but also like, does everyone actually do it?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's tough.
Yeah, Kyle, let us know if you ran into
poopies. I just want to add to that. I went camping.
Yes. Gosh, we have so much to talk about.
Yeah. So went camping, and I will just say I didn't have to worry about the poopy thing. Okay. Because we had I never pooped. Actually, that's a fact. I couldn't. I just can't poop in public or like without like a comfort space, apparently. And my body was like, nope, we're not pooping. Yeah. And we had the RV, so we technically weren't slumming it completely. Or camping completely. It's not slumming, but we weren't full camping because we still had that as an option, which was great because I was able to pee my heart out. Never poopy though. No poopies coming out of me apparently, and I can go for 3 days apparently without poopy.
Wow.
Not good.
How are you feeling?
Body. I felt very bloated.
Yeah.
Sunday when I came home. Yep. I had to get some Metamucil.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I think I'm backed up here. I don't know how to get this out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we did that. We did the whole thing.
Okay. But I do want to hear more actually about camping and get a full update on that. But just because I only have one more update from Citizen Brianna, she sent me an article about a club that closes at 10. It's like for millennials. It like starts at 6, closes at 10, and this was around us talking about you having what Citizen Julia also loved, the theme being happy hour, where we're open from 3 to 6.
3 to 6 should be happy hour.
Yeah.
Love that. Damn, I love the idea of the party, like the club kicks you out at 10.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yes.
I would still leave by 9.
I would also. But I was gonna say 9:30 would probably be better.
People,
but
if they're wild.
Well, I mean, if you close at 10, that means you start playing closing time at 9:30.
Yeah.
Love that.
We also got feedback from Citizen Julia that she really enjoys us referring to listeners as like Citizen Adrian, because it sounds to her like Sister Sarah. And I was like, the covenant of the pod.
I love that. I do love that. The covenant of the pod is great. Citizens.
Or convent? What is a covenant? Because a convent is where nuns live, right? Okay, well, we'll ask the new pope.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. Good
I was
question.
like, covenant, I think, is with, like, it's some religious thing.
Oh, covenant made me think of, like a witch's covenant.
Oh, a coven?
A coven,
yeah.
That's what that is.
Okay, during October, we'll have the coven of the pod.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that.
It'd be like witch gin.
Witch gin. Not witch gin, but witch gin.
Witch is... Witch. Sandwich shop. Okay, anyways, so camping. Give me some highlights.
Camping was
Best, worst, weirdest.
fun. Okay. Oh God. Fuck, I hate when we do this.
You should be prepared. Citizen Adrian recently came back from doing a pilgrimage hike through Spain. It was a 200-mile hike. Very impressive.
And she gave you the best,
and she prepared knowing that I was going to ask her best, worst, weirdest. She has known me a little longer, but still.
I feel like I need to step my game up.
And granted, you were still in state, and typically don't ask this question for people who do a weekend trip.
Yeah, it was a weekend trip, but best was honestly the campsite. I wish we would have just stayed there. We went to this farm. The RV was set up. We set up our tents, so only 3 of us stayed in tents. And the best was just, honestly, I love, like, the temperature was it was okay. It got really cold the first night. Second night was perfect. But, like, the best was, I was playing Fire Master.
Oh, yeah.
And building the fires and keeping it going, and then sleeping in the tent and hearing all the nature sounds.
Yeah, that's nice.
The views were pretty. That was epic.
You don't even need a ambient noise on your phone.
You don't. It's legit. And nature's loud as fuck.
Yeah.
Nature is so loud. We had an owl right outside on Saturday morning. Oh, yeah. Legit. Like, it might as well have been sitting on top of our tent. So fucking loud. The whole time. I was like, what the fuck? I don't want to get out because I feel like the owl's going to attack me. That was probably the best. It's just spending time with them at the campsite and hanging out.
Speaking of owls, are owls smart animals, or have we just stereotyped them in cartoons to be a wise owl, and so we think owls are smart?
I don't know. I don't know if I would say owls
first?
are smart.
The intelligence, or
I think they just look like a wise, and maybe that's just because that's what's just like,
because their head spins around.
Yeah.
Okay.
They see it all.
Sorry. Yeah.
I like that. I'm very interested now. I think it's just what they told us. They told us it's wise, so it's wise.
So we're like, yeah, the wise old owl, the big black crow, go, rockin' robin, tweet, tweet, rockin' robin. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Love that. Worst is more difficult because I feel like it was a great weekend. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes I question if that should be part of my thing. Like, tell me something that you hated.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
probably
worst
that
is
you
probably
didn't poop.
I literally was about perfect. I think worst is probably not pooping.
Yeah.
Because that did not feel good. The outcome of that.
Yeah.
The time felt fine. Later, no bueno. Weirdest. Nope, nothing.
Nothing was weird?
I mean, not really. Not that weird. No. It was camping.
The owl?
I mean, the owl was cool, though. Everything was kind of cool.
Sure.
You could probably say that he was kind of cool, too. The guy that we, like, rented the campsite on his farm, initially I was just like, he seems kind of weird, but then he seemed fine. He came back later.
What does that mean?
Well, like, when he showed up when we first got there and was like, welcomed us, it wasn't really like a welcome. It was kind of just like, you guys good? And we mentioned that we needed a couple things because the campsite was set up weird.
Okay.
So the campsite had the electric outlet on this side of one side of the campsite, and then on the opposite side of the campsite was the water hookups.
Interesting.
So it was like, I don't know, shitty.
Yeah.
It was like really shitty. So we had to have an extension for the water so that we could connect that up.
Yeah. Okay. I accept that as the weirdest.
That's the weirdest
that
thing.
Makes sense.
I will say that now. And be done. It was great though.
I'm glad you had such a good time.
It was nice. Yeah. I mean, we came back Sunday morning, so we still got to spend Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Well, not with my mother, but with my mother-in-law, which was nice.
Nice.
So yeah, good times.
Yeah, I'm glad. What?
I was going to say, there's a lot that you did too, other than Boston.
This is true. This past weekend, we went to a Richmond short film thing that was happening at the park.
Oh, fun.
I don't know if you've ever been there.
I've been there one time and I was like, I expected a lot more, and it was underwhelming experience.
That's how I felt. And we didn't even go there to like play games or drink or anything. They have like a little movie theater in there, and a friend of ours actually brought up remember how I told you that Skylar was Bigfoot in a friend's movie? So neither of us hadn't ever seen a screening of it, and he had submitted it into this like indie thing, and so they were doing a screening of it. So we went to go, and we didn't think much of it. And it makes sense that it was actually like, oh, we watched like 7 short films, and his was one of them.
That's cool though.
And 3
Bigfoot.
of them were incredible, including my friends. So that was great.
So he was actually part of he was Bigfoot in a very, very good short film.
Yeah.
Job well done.
And he was a dead Bigfoot, so he just laid there
Oh.
in the costume. But, yeah, it was really fun, and I'm glad we went because I don't know if we would have chosen to do that activity otherwise. But some of the movies, Jen, were bad.
Oh.
So bad. And I honestly, I had a moment. Like, the first one was incredible. The second one was the worst thing I'd ever seen.
Not just because it was right next to an incredible one.
Correct.
Oh.
And that I had this fear of like, oh my gosh, what if we watch our friends?
And it sucks.
And it's bad. But it was also incredible. And then I remembered that I'd actually seen another screening of a movie that he did at the Bird once that was really good. So I knew his shit was good. But
close one.
Yeah. And then we went to the Lebanese festival, which
Love
you also
it.
went to. But it sounds like, what day did you go?
We went Sunday.
Okay, yeah, we went Saturday.
Okay, yeah, we have like a cheat code for the Lebanese food festival, mostly because like we stay home with Penny, and we don't like leaving her, but we'll do that for the Greek festival. But the Lebanese food festival honestly is very similar food, but their dessert's better.
Oh, did you get the sampler?
I didn't. We
Okay,
just got the balls. Because they're our favorite balls.
Yeah, well, this year we got the sampler box. Jen.
Was it good?
It was so good.
We didn't. Oh, man.
Yeah, next year you have to get that.
Okay, sampler dessert box is on the list. See, what we do is we pretend like we ordered online so that we can get past where they're telling people to park far away and go all the way up to the front, park, but we don't really park because there's not really parking. And we just kind of like pull in front of some cars.
Yeah.
And one of us will get out, Nathan, and goes and gets all the food from the area.
Yeah.
Because the online order system doesn't have all the food that they have in the area.
Oh.
Especially not the balls that we love.
Yeah.
So he went.
The donuts is
the
what you're
donut
talking
balls,
about. Yeah.
He goes and gets all the food, brings it to the car, and then we went to a little park. Well, actually, we went to like a work area where they had a bench overlooking the water, and then we sat with Penny. We brought Penny with us, and ate our Lebanese food festival food, and
that's nice.
it was perfect.
Yeah, we went. Well, we did not do this hack of yours, but it was very crowded, but there was also plenty of seating, and we didn't have to wait in line to get any of the food. Whereas like the Greek festival
is the worst for that.
Yeah. I also don't know. It's because like it's a different setup. It's not like where at the Greek festival, you just like have to go through essentially a buffet line to get any of the food.
That's probably part of it.
Yeah.
The balls at the Greek festival though, not as good.
I don't think I've ever had them.
They're like honey dip. I don't know. They're not as good. We realized this past time around because they also don't have that available
now
in the main takeout order line.
Okay, so Skylar really wanted the balls, and I was like, we were gonna get both. Then I was like, no, we're probably just fine with the sampler platter. And that was my bad. We should have gotten both.
The balls are good. The balls are a really good win.
Yeah.
I have to say it's worth like not doing the order like online or whereas the Greek festival, no, just go through the drive-thru.
Yeah.
Everything that you need for the Greek festival food-wise, all in the drive-thru.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Oh man, the Greek festival's coming up too.
I know. Always the weekend after Memorial Day.
Always.
Which means not this coming weekend. Actually, well, when you're listening to this, it'll be this weekend. So Richmond local folks, go to the Greek festival.
Oh, so good. Yeah, Greek festival's great. I'm looking forward to that. I won't go.
You'll do the drive-thru.
I'll do the drive-thru.
Yeah.
I'll drop Nathan off and then get my food at the drive-thru.
See, part of our tradition is to go not through the drive-thru. While we're in line for Skylar to get really annoyed and frustrated because the line is long and he's too hot, and he's going to complain about that, and I'm going to say, you complain about this every year, and he'll go, I know. And
He's
it's
right
tradition.
though. It's our wonderful tradition that we share. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not wrong. And it's hotter too when you're standing in the line, because some of the areas where you're standing, they have like the grill on one side and there's no shade at all. And then also when you go through the lines, it doesn't have everything in that one section. So if you want like the French fries and the gyros, you have to go to a separate line.
I didn't ever get that.
Also, neither do we.
Yeah.
It's also a super long line. Then there's desserts that are separate. Then the wine and the beer are separate.
Yeah, so we used to, one of us would stay in the line, and then one of us would go buy a bottle of wine.
That was
and
the
then
best.
we would drink the wine while we waited in line.
And you'd be done with the wine.
And then we'd feel fine.
Wow, you are rhyming.
Yeah.
But you're done with the wine by the time you get to the food.
Yeah.
Which is probably
And then you're
kind of
tipsy, so you're not upset.
But it's worth it. People are lined up around the block.
Yeah.
Waiting hours for this food because it is so good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, for local folks, go to the Greek festival. Probably do the drive-through, but you can go in person if you want.
Yeah. They also have the fun people dancing and performing.
Yeah, and there's vendors, I think, inside. We don't really look at those either.
We did that one year.
I think you and I went last year.
Was it last year?
A Kickers game or after an Ivy game.
Yeah. And didn't we meet with like Melanie and Lindsay?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Citizen Melanie.
Citizen Melanie.
I don't know if Lindsay can be counted as a citizen yet.
Oh, okay. Noted, Lindsay. Well, she won't hear this, so.
Yeah, I know, right? Listen more.
There was one more thing I wanted to bring up for us to talk about.
Oh,
for
shit.
something that I got served. Okay, it is another apartment therapy post. So the last apartment therapy post I talked about was like things that in a marriage, like how you like to keep things clean.
Mm-hmm. Spicy.
And I don't know how much conversation will come of this, but I thought it'd be fun. Which type of weekend in are you? So if you're spending the weekend in, these are your options. Does this make sense?
No. Weekend in, as in I-N?
Yes. Which type of weekend in are you? So if you're spending the weekend at home, how are you doing it?
Okay.
The cozy curator. Just 5 more pillows and candles. So you're just like hanging out on the couch.
Netflix binge.
The decluttering diva. Let me just reorganize this drawer for fun.
Okay.
The determined DIYer. Why buy it when I can try to make it?
Ooh.
The serial rearranger. What if the couch lived here this week?
Oh.
The social butterfly. You can stay home, but I'll actually be out. So you don't actually do that.
Yep.
You leave. And the snack architect. Everything is better with a little charcuterie board. I feel like that is not one. That's just
Why would you make a charcuterie
so I'm
board
actually
on the weekend in?
For funsies. Like, ooh, maybe that's like, oh, you like cooking and baking and stuff. That's what I'm going to assume that one is.
Okay.
So, which type of weekend in is Jen?
Well, so weekend in Jen is every weekend. Every possible weekend I want to be in my home.
Okay.
So I would say apart from the social butterfly and the, what was the one before that?
The serial rearranger?
Rearranging shit. Don't do that. I am a different weekend in. All the other ones just rotate.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm a binge. I need to catch up
You're
on my
a cozy
shows.
curator.
Yep.
A determined DIYer.
Oh yeah, we're building shit outside.
The decluttering diva.
I love doing a spring cleaning. I love going through the kitchen and getting rid of shit. Big fan. But I have to be in the mood.
Right.
So some weekends not.
Yeah. Which one immediately is like, oh yeah, that's me. Like if you had to pick one. Because one of them I'm a mix, you know?
Mix.
But there was one where I'm like, oh, I always tend to do that. If I have like nothing to do and feel like I want to do something.
For me, if I've like had a lot of stuff going on for the past weekends, it's my one weekend in a while or after a while, I'm gonna Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do shit.
You're gonna cozy curate.
Curate. I'm sorry, I just can't keep getting the words wrong. But yeah, no, I'm more often than not gonna cozy curate.
Yeah. I think I'm a decluttering diva.
Really?
Yeah.
Like consistently?
Yeah, and granted, this doesn't like happen every weekend, but I really enjoy just being like, ooh, that drawer, we're going through it.
Mm-hmm.
And not even always like getting rid of stuff, but just like, every few months, you kind of need to like go through the pantry and
Yeah.
reorganize and stuff like that. And I think that is a skill I bring to the household. So,
Yes. I like that.
and I like to do it.
Which is important.
Yeah.
I feel like I do all these things.
Yeah. Now, it can be stressful to Skylar because I, on the weekends, tend to wake up earlier than he does, which I actually love because what I do is I like make my little morning drink that I like. And then I will like catch up on an episode of TV while I'm sipping on my beverage.
That's nice.
Then I'll either just like stay in my cozy curation and read some of my book, or this is the part where he's like, oh, what's she doing down there? I get the bug to start like, oh, let me reorganize the fridge.
What's going on in here?
Yep. Take care of this corner over here, and he's just hearing bang, bang. But
What the
I
fuck?
will wait until an acceptable time to do that.
Okay.
I wait until the time where I'm like, he would prefer to be up, but just hasn't gotten up yet.
What time is that,
Skylar?
Skylar?
I'm gonna say 9 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say 10 at the latest.
Yeah.
Right? Because what are we doing?
If I know my man hasn't been getting good sleep, though,
Sleep
then,
up, baby boy.
Yeah. 10 it is.
That's cute. Yeah. No, I get that. I'm also, though, the cooking one.
Yeah.
I, like, when you mentioned earlier that Skylar likes to have, likes to do a dinner on a Sunday, a nice dinner, that's something that I also love. I either like to put something in the crock pot that I'm been dying to try and like prepare that for the day, and then I can do a bunch of other stuff. But I also just like sometimes I get to experimental with stuff that we had left over from the week. And so I know times where I've made like a platter of nachos just for funsies.
Yeah.
And I just and also I saw a thing on the internet the other day, which is crazy for me, right? Because this is Google News that's feeding me stuff when I say I saw it on the internet because I don't have socials. Google News fed me the ultimate nachos, and it's a lady on YouTube, which I watched her, where she puts a bunch of shit in a pan, like a baking sheet that has sides.
Mm-hmm.
All of the stuff that you would put on top of nachos, she puts it in there and heats it up and mixes it and gets all, good. And then she just takes a tray of chips and dumps the one tray off of the tray of toppings onto the tray of chips. It slides right out because it's hot.
Oh,
and then you immediately just dump it and then eat it, and the chips are still, they're not soggy because you didn't bake, do anything with the chips.
Oh, fascinating.
I haven't tried it, so I don't know if it's actually quality,
Yeah.
but it looked like something I wanted to feast on.
I mean, I do feel strongly that nachos should be wider, not taller.
Yes, fuck tall nachos.
Yeah.
Fuck a tall nacho. It's like, we know that the thing in the middle down there at the bottom, there's a whole pile underneath the pile.
Yeah, where no toppings are touching.
Nothing is touching anything. It's why did you give me all these chips at this point?
Citizens, Jen and I have shared the worst nachos
in the world
that have ever existed. And I'm going to call them out. Buddies,
Ugh.
Bar and Grill.
Yeah.
And
Piss
they
poor.
actually used to have very good food. And
They
they
did.
are just like a divey bar where we would play trivia at. But you would
Fun
also
spot.
expect nachos to
Divey
be good there.
food.
What's interesting is that what continues to be delicious there is their shrimp.
Yeah.
Which
always
is strange.
Sketchy.
Yeah.
When you think about it, dive bar, I want shrimp.
No.
But
you want nachos, but you don't. You want the
shrimp.
shrimp.
That's so true. Speaking of, are we ever going to play trivia again?
We should.
I miss those guys.
Yeah.
I haven't messaged anybody
We
in
have
a
so
while.
many updates that we need to share with them.
Yeah. We should do trivia soon.
Okay.
Oh, trivia. But just maybe not at Buddy's. No, I guess we have to go back to Buddy's.
Yeah, that's where we go.
It's
it
tradish.
does smell like vomit. We'll just get the shrimp. So then we can vomit because of the smell of vomit.
Ew.
All right. Well,
Did we
this
do
has
it?
been fun. I have no idea. This was another hodgepodge of an episode, but we had so much to
I feel like it's just ketchup.
catch up on. Yeah.
Ketchup and mustard.
Yeah. What's your favorite condiment?
Oof. I feel like initially my brain just said ranch, but I also feel like hot sauce.
Yeah. It's interesting because in my mind, yes, ranch is a condiment, but it's a dressing. And it's different. Because you wouldn't be like, my favorite condiment is a balsamic vinaigrette.
Maybe that's just because it's not that good of a condiment.
But Caesar dressing is delicious.
As a dressing, not as a condiment. Whereas
but then
ranch is wearing multiple hats.
You know what? Yes.
They're just,
Russian dressing is not a dressing. It's a condiment.
What is that?
It's a mix of like Thousand Island and ketchup, maybe.
Thousand Island also is turned into a burger sauce.
Yes.
Pretty much the same ingredients, just slightly tweaked for the
Thousand
burger.
Thousand Island. What a strange name.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I love it. Okay. I grew up crushing Thousand Island at the Ruby Tuesdays salad bar.
Oh, I love a salad bar, especially like a chain salad bar, like
Pizza Hut
the
salad
Pizza
bar.
Hut salad
Pizza Hut
bar.
salad bar. Thousand Island dressing always. Ruby Tuesdays, Pizza Hut, any salad bar. I always would get the Thousand Island.
Did you know that Pizza Hut used to be the largest purchaser of kale?
That doesn't even make sense.
Because they used it as the decor in the salad bar.
Holy shit. They would just waste kale like that.
And then kale got rebranded and is now very popular. Similar to the Brussels sprout, which I'm very pleased about. And
kale,
I like both.
Man, what a comeback story.
Yeah.
I say comeback. Were they ever here? Were they ever already here to come back from something? Or did they just like come up?
You know what? I think they just came up.
It's
whereas Brussels sprouts came back. Like for our parents, it was just like steamed mush. But our Brussels sprouts have a balsamic vinaigrette with a cheese dusting, and they're nice and crisp.
We're gonna put those things in a cast iron skillet and get them all crispy on the sides.
Yeah,
with some Parmesan and some balsamic vinaigrette.
Yeah.
Yeah, we upgraded the Brussels.
Yeah,
the sprout.
Well, if you liked this episode, please share with your friends. Like, comment, subscribe, leave a review. We love that. We read all your comments. We read all of your reviews.
Yes.
I recently got sassy when we were doing the mic check with some comments we got on YouTube. So that was fun.
Big fan of any review.
Ta-ta, citizens.
Love ya.
I think it works.
And
someone said they liked it.
They did?
Yeah.
Well, I love you.
You in particular, just you.
Just you.